solution to or solver of. That's the same thing, Eric. And that is too much whiskey. Jim, can you help me out on the actual quote from that one or sentiment?
I believe it's the cause of and solution to all of life.
There you go. There you go. Thank you. And that is Jim with a save. And now I think we have the opening to the show.
Hi, DB Sweeney, and you're watching All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.
Hello and welcome back to All Over the Place. I'm your host, Eric Porvoznik, and going to welcome back into the studio Mr. Marty Zamora. Mick Marty, how are you?
Hey.
And Jim Culver. How are
I'm good.
Gentlemen, we'll tell people what's going on with this in just a second, but let's raise a glass up very quickly so let them figure out. It's Tuesday, the 17th of March. I think we know where we're going with this.
Indeed it is.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love the whiskey that is Irish flavored. And yes, folks, we are doing our Irish stew Threefer today. And for obvious reasons. And but before we get going, I always like to send the shout out to our fans. We hit some major milestones this week. Lamal is now our most watched episode ever. Thank you to Ray Roldan for booking Lamal with us. Thank you, Lamal, for being such an amazing guest and continuing to put out, he put out the Horse with No Name cover or not a cover. It's a reinterpretation. Amazing take he did on that song. And he's continuing to get out there, do more shows over in Europe. I'm looking forward to him. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he comes over to the States, whether it's solo going out or attaching himself to one of these mega package tours like the I Love the 80s that I saw, or whatever it was, where I saw the Vapors and Big Country and Flock of Seagulls. And we need Lamal in the States. And just, again, I want to thank Lamal for being such an amazing guest. The new number one All Over the Place episode, up to Lamal.
You're here.
And also want to send a shout out to CK Smile from Chaosium, another episode that continues to grow. And Peter Jesperson, thank you for joining us for a second time. His episode, thank you. It comes down to ultimately thanking our guests and thanking you, the All Over the Place audience. We are seeing our back catalog get looked at and listened to over on Podbean. Things are exploding this past week in Europe and all over the United States. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all of it. One more to you guys, as if we need an excuse to drink on St. Patrick's Day.
I like Guinness.
I like. It's American whiskey. It's Elijah Craig, though. I mean, that's Craig's a good Irish name. And some damn fine whiskey, 98 proof. Arr. That came out more like a Scotsman. My apologies to the Irish community. And before we get going, I just do want to say that I'm very excited to be doing a St. Patrick's Day Irish themed show, because even though it's the smallest part of my heritage in terms of the percentage, my Czech, my Slovak, and the combination of the British Isles, Irish is the smallest percentage of my blood. However, it is the makeup, my genetic makeup. I have always been attached to my Irish side the most. The plucky underdogs, the people who don't give a fuck until they give a fuck. And then they just, at the end of the day, they just throw it back. I love being Irish, and and right now, as we head into our Threefer with our Irish stew, we're going to be, as befitting our name, all over the place as we talk about just things Irish or Irish American, whether it's TV episodes, movies, actors, actresses, songs, albums, whatever it is. Irish stew. And Jim, since you are our Irishman of the biggest percentage on this show, actually, what I mean, Culver obviously an Irish name, so I mean at least half Irish. What is your makeup with your McBlood?
Well, Culver's actually Old English, but
okay.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I did the ancestry thing a while back, and actually the majority of my blood is Irish.
Nice.
It's around 60-70%. So I'm pretty sure that qualifies me to charge you guys with cultural appropriation for this episode.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say,
okay,
I myself, as you can clearly see, am Irish. I'm part Irish.
Clearly. Yeah.
No, this is true.
I'm just gonna say cultural appropriation, but you guys can pay reparations. Just send me a bottle of Bailey's
Okay.
in the mail, and all's forgiven. So
All right. On the way.
Fair enough, you fuck.
I'm 5%, by the way. Eric, do you know what
5%?
percent you
All right.
are?
I am. It is 7.5.
And look at the
I'm
difference.
narrowly edging you out, you brown bastard.
I'm more Irish than I am Jewish. That's
Wow. Hey. Well,
you go.
either way, that's
I
the
got
pasty
cool
side of
that bumps
you.
it up.
Well, you definitely burn like an Irishman, so you got the skin going on. Good,
There you
good
go.
on you.
Well, there's a couple of things with the Mexican American in me, or my mom was born in Mexico.
Mhm.
Two things that Irish and Mexican have in common, so to speak. One, the Mexican American War. The Irish took the side of Mexico because a lot to do with the U.S. persecuting them religiously and so on. So they're like, "Fuck it, we're going in with the Mexicans." And then the other thing is a joke that me and my friend Mark always make is it's a European Mexican. They like to drink and they like to fight. It's the same. They're really just the same with a different shade.
And because they're Catholic, they like to fuck.
Oh, well, yes. And there's
I will say
lot
we're
of-
still in the middle of Lent, so I will do my my Catholic reparations, otherwise known as my Hail Marys and Our Fathers later.
Yeah.
all righty.
They both have 10 kids and
Yeah.
50
fun.
grandkids. So there you go. A lot of crossover there.
I'll do my Hail Marys later too.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so for my first one, I'm going to go with something the Irish do very well, which is poetry.
Yes, I love it.
A lot of fantastic poets come out of Ireland. Man, Dublin was just like a poet factory back in the day. Man, so many great writers came out of there. So lots of great ones. My personal favorite, and actually my favorite poet of all time, W.B. Yeats.
Ooh.
Absolutely love his work. Fell in love with his stuff as a teenager. Just such beautiful writing. He does such an amazing job. He's always, he's either talking about Irish history or talking about, grander concepts, metaphysical concepts, or we're talking about love, things like that. And he just, something about the way he writes is just so beautiful, and it just goes right to your soul. And so my personal favorite poem is The Second Coming. Really dark, twisted but beautiful poem about the apocalypse.
Can you give us a little?
I can. I think probably my favorite line.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on.
My favorite line from it: "The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity."
Ooh.
If that is not a prescient line about the times we live in, I mean, come on.
I like it.
But yeah, love that one, and of course other poems like "He Wishes for the Cloths of Heaven." That's a beautiful one about love, and just you cannot go wrong with Yeats. His stuff is amazing, and he's a true Irish original. He did a lot of great poems about Irish history and some of the turbulence that he grew up in, and just incredibly beautiful work. So
Yates. Well, I think every time we're on the horn, we got to throw one up. It's St. Patrick's
All right.
Day after all. Yes.
here.
All right. Marty, to you.
All righty. Well, this is something that's out of season, but I don't know, give a shit. It's not even actually Irish, but let me explain. It's a Christmas thing, and I'm guessing you two are about to know what I'm about to say. It's a music thing. It's my favorite, second favorite. I go back and forth. Christmas song, which is "Fairy Tale of New York," and it's set in New York, and the other girl, the girl singing's English, but Shane MacGowan, the guy is as Irish as you get, right? I mean,
Yep.
but he was born in England.
Yeah.
I had no idea until today, but his parents were on vacation or whatever, which I don't get that. You're about to have a baby and you decide to go on a trip. But anyway, so yeah, he's actually.
It's just
English.
across the channel, whatever.
Yeah, he's English, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so the song was released on my birthday in 1987. I knew that part, but it just I know he's not a shining example of what it is to be Irish, but he seems a very common Irish guy. I know he had some problems with alcohol, and that's maybe not obviously not all Irish people have drinking problems. I mean, look at Jim. He does not, although he's American.
I don't have a drinking problem. I got it all figured out.
So yeah, it just it really living this Irish immigrants life here in New York, and that is weird. That's the first time I've said here in New York. I'm actually in New York, and it just rolled off my tongue. So anyway, so I really love it, and it missed being number one. Look at that, the Pogues.
If I should fall from grace with God, Fairy Tale of New York, Turkish Song of the Damned. Some will say that, Rum Sodomy and the Lash, best Pogues album. I go with this one. I mean, there are no bad answers, but this is my favorite Pogues.
Yeah. So, in 1987, when it was released in November, so it didn't hit number one, and all I have to say is, fuck the Pet Shop Boys. They have stupid music that I don't like, and they kept them out of number one. Anyway,
wait, it never went to number one in England, though?
U.S.
Okay.
is what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
If only I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody curse the Pet Shop Boys. Be a wealthy man.
Those damn Pet Shop Boys.
And the drunk tank.
Yes, in the drunk tank. So,
and that's all I'm going to do,
also,
folks. There's not enough of this in me yet to complete more verses from Fairy Tale from New York. But Marty, love that you called that one out. Do love it.
And also a toast to Shane, and it's been gone for a little bit, but what a genius!
Jim and I, when we gave our memorial, our remembrance of Shane McGowan, Jim did a great one on that one, and I will always throw one up for Shane McGowan. And I found out recently there's a compilation album coming out of people, including Springsteen. I can't remember which song Springsteen sings, but there's a tribute to Shane McGowan with a lot of different current artists singing his songs. So
that's on the way.
Yes, coming up later this summer. So Shane McGowan, Fairy Tale from New York. Great call, Marty.
Good call. And if I could, I'm going to piggyback on Marty's pick and throw my own song out there.
Okay.
So I'm going to say for my Irish song is going to be "The Parting Glass," which is my all-time favorite. It's an old. It originally was Scottish. I will say that it started out as a Scottish tune, but like a lot of other things, like the potato, the Irish took it and made it their own and made it better for everyone. So.
How do you make a potato better?
They found a way, dude. That's all I can say.
More potatoes.
More, exactly. No famines.
And I think we just found our intro to the show.
More potatoes.
Works for me. Yeah, so that's my pick. Either the version by Sean Davey, which is my personal favorite, or if you want to hear the more traditional version, Hosier has a great version. I don't know if you know him, but he's a great Irish singer. And his version is
Hosier. Very, very, very nice. Not so deep cut call. I like that. Nice.
Take off.
Hosier, so, not Hosier. Come on, man. I know you're closer to Canada now, but knock it off.
So yeah, that or anything by the Pogues, or Flogging Molly, or you know what? Just to be an asshole, I'm going to say "Top of the Morning to You" by House of Pain is on my list too, because it's technically Irish. I don't care what you say.
Dropkick. Technically, that's absolutely Irish. Top of the morning to you. And that's all I'll do so we don't get sued or frighten people off. All right. Well, for my first round the horn pick, I'm going to piggyback off of what Jim was talking about. I'm going to say, I've said it for years that baseball players are great storytellers. The Irish are the greatest storytellers in the world. The way that they just weave stories and characters and feeling, and you sit and I'm going to guess it started in the pubs or just started in people just sitting down and listening to the bards talk and just weaving these stories and just bringing people in. And, Jim, you mentioned Yates earlier. I mean, just Dylan Thomas, Stoker, all these Irish. There's too many to name of so many great Irish writers, but just you're engaged. You just you want to listen just because the way they tell the story, the way just the ebb and the flow. And of course, they don't call it an Irish accent over there, but for Americans, for me specifically, to hear just the rolling brogue sucks me in every time. And Irish storytellers, that is my number one without a doubt. My love of the Emerald Isle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can picture it, a dimly lit pub with a Guinness and just listening to one of those guys tell some cool story.
Sounds like heaven to me.
I will take Jim's cue as well very quickly before I forget. And I put his album over my left shoulder there, right side of the screen for everyone watching. I am so glad that Jeff Tate had Mark Daly and the Ravens opening for him back at the end of 2022. And getting introduced to Mark's music and having him on the show 3 times now. You want to talk about a storyteller, a guy who's I love his music. He's got a new single out now. I don't even want to say it. It's like he puts a new single out. It seems like every 2 weeks, and he keeps kicking ass. And that's my favorite Irish music of the moment. And looking forward to hopefully bringing Mark back a 4th time when he has his new album coming out. They're in the middle. I can't remember if they're in the middle of recording or just rap recording, but they're back in Texas, back in their favorite studio there in Texas. Looking forward to having Mark back on the show. Love Mark Daly and the Ravens, and I brought them up on the dual guitar attack. But Killian and James Brown, their side bands, and then working with Jeff Tate as well with James Brown. So glad that Mark Daly and the Ravens are in my life right now. Great Irish tunes. Thank you, Mark Daly and the Ravens. And now, Jim, back around to you.
Okay, for my second topic, I'm going to talk about food and drinks today.
All right.
Oh, shit, I've got to throw a toast up, especially with Mark Daly and the Ravens in there.
Mark Daly.
Step.
Yes.
Now another one for Jim, food and drink.
And I'm going to go beyond the Dennis Leary joke about how Irish food is just food that's been boiled for 17 hours and you can eat it through a straw. So just a few of my personal favorites as honorable mentions. I'm going to say Killian's Irish Red. That is my favorite beer that is not made by the Guinness Company.
That was excellent.
Indeed. Bangers and Mash, originally an English food. The Irish made it amazing, as they do. I'm gonna mention, just as far as mixed drinks go, Irish Car Bomb or Belfast Car Bomb, as you know it. You guys familiar with that one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in the Cleveland area, and you guys have hopefully seen Kill the Irishman, the car bomber there in Cleveland.
Yes.
So yeah.
And by the way, if you use that name in a lot of Irish bars, they will not be amused because history. But basically, for those who don't know, it's a pint of stout, Guinness stout, and then you pour a shot of Bailey's and pour some Jameson's whiskey in there. Then you bomb it in, and while it's mixing, which looks a bit like a bomb, you chug it. And while you're chugging it, it tastes like basically like a chocolate shake. Tastes amazing, but you have to chug it.
What you're looking for, Jimmy boy, is heaven. It tastes like heaven.
But you have to chug it while it's mixing, because once it mixes and curdles, it tastes like horrible trash. So
the word you're looking for there, Jimbo, is ass. Arse.
You got to drink it fast, is what I'm saying. Which is why I don't drink those too much very often, because I don't drink that fast anymore. But another one I'm going to mention is pasties. Delicious Irish food.
I lived in Lake Havasu for a couple of years. I like pasties.
Pasties are good. There's an Irish pub here in Seattle called Kells. They make delicious pasties. Excuse me.
What is a pasty, sir?
Yeah, help me
out. Pasty is like a it's kind of like a deep fried. It's almost like a deep fried taquito, except the Irish version. So it's like a deep fried pastry. It's like a fried pastry with meat and vegetables and potatoes shoved in there.
I know what you're talking about now. Yes, and well, first off, you had me a deep fried, but now I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you can put any meat in there you like. I like lamb, but they're all really,
you can put any meat in there you like.
Indeed, yes. So so that's a really good one. Those are all some of my favorites. For my pick though, I have to go with the black and tan. That is a little concoction I make for myself every St. Patty's Day. That's take a Guinness and then you very carefully pour a harp on top. Sadly, my local grocery store doesn't carry harp right now, so I wasn't able to make one for tonight. But I will make up for that one of these days. But it is very visually appealing and delicious and enjoyable and good stuff. So and I needed a little instruction to figure out how to make one right because I kept screwing it up. But now I can.
I received as a gift from my wife a little kit, and it was
it's got the spoon and everything.
It was a little turtle that all 4 of his feet held onto the sides, and you poured over it, and then it had a little thing under it, and it laid it out there perfect for idiots like me.
It works, idiot proof. It's perfect. So black and tan. That's my pick for my favorite Irish concoction of the food and drink variety.
Well, I got to throw a shout out now on me back tonight. My favorite Irish pub in the land, and that is Ireland's 32, located in technically Van Nuys, but it's Sherman Oaks adjacent in California. I lived there. I lived exactly a mile, so I would go there on a Friday or Saturday night, walk there, stumble home. Fish and chips there. Marty and Alan, the bartenders, would make me my Jack and Cokes, and just good times. So I know Jack Daniel's not an Irish drink, but Jameson's, you either do a shot. You don't mix Jameson's with anything, or tell them or do. You just drink that straight up. But shout out to my friends over at Ireland's 32 in Van Nuys, California, for drink concoctions. Everybody knows your name at Ireland's 32. And that was even after I moved away, I always went back. So yes, to them.
Oh, hey, I'll finish my Guinness.
There you go. All right, while you're finishing your Guinness, Marty, we're gonna shuttle on up to you for your next call.
All right. Well, this one, you guys are, I don't know how much you're gonna relate to it, but I don't give a fuck. So it is my favorite Irish fighter. His name is Mickey Ward, and he is an absolute savage. One of those dudes that, you know what, you guys, sorry, I got dust or something in my eye. Vision's overrated. I'll move on.
I've got a headache in my eye.
You guys might even know what I'm talking about when I get to the part. So his name is Mickey Ward. He had a record of 38-13 with 27 knockouts. He was no world beater. Yeah, I'm sure it's glass. He was no world beater, but he was a grinder, and he was just always, at some point you're called a club fighter, and it just means that you're sort of a gatekeeper. The guys get around 12 or 13 wins. They got to get through you to kind of move on to the next level. But he hovered around there for a long time and had a lot of great fights. And he had 3 fights. It's around 05, maybe. Anyway, doesn't matter when. He had 3 fights with a fighter named Arturo Gatti, kind of a Mexican version of Mickey Ward. And so these 3 fights, 2 of them were fight of the year. I mean, he's just one of those guys, just a fun dude, just fun to watch, exciting fights. He's always he's not super fast. He's not super powerful. He just grinds, and he kind of like Rocky, kind of like that thing, maybe not to that extent, but he moves forward and makes exciting fights. And boxing is one of my long time loves since I was a little kid. My grandfather taking me to fights. I just loved it. Anyway, they made a movie about him called The Fighter, starring Mark Wahlberg. There you go. Now you guys know what I'm talking about.
I knew where you were going. I knew the story.
Yeah. Well,
so did I.
Yeah. So he was not Irish, but he was Irish descent. He was an American. His grandparents were they were born. His great grandparents, were born and lived in Ireland, and around 1850 they got the hell out of there because they were starving, and they hopped on a boat. And I think one of the lines from one of them, Mickey Ward was talking about it. And we were hungry in Ireland, and we were hungry on the boat. It was no different. So we came to America, and they anyway. Oh, interesting little side story about Mickey Ward. There's a thing called a tamper when you're laying pavement, and it's kind of a metal thing, and it's got two handles that sort of face you, so you're doing this, right? Well, if you can imagine, if the thing falls over forward, the handles are pointing straight up. He tripped and fell backwards, right up the arse, right up his arse. He had internal bleeding, and he was in the hospital for weeks, and he went on to win more fights. But that's usually, I slipped in the bathtub, and I don't know what happened. But no, this actually happened on a job site. Poor guy, man. That just sounds horrible. Yeah, what a rough way to have a day at work. So Mickey Ward, my favorite Irish fighter. There's another one, Barry McGuigan. He was a really good Irish fighter. He was actually from Ireland, but he was like world champion and stuff. He did all of it. But Mickey Ward he was a great fighter. Those Irish, man, you get out there and go.
It goes back to what I said at the start of the show. The underdog.
Yeah,
you don't mess with the underdog. You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and I mean, his record says that's exactly what it was the whole time, and he beat some guys he shouldn't have along the way, and that's why he stayed productive and kept going, because he had heart, and he would wear you down, and then he had you. It's my kind of fighter. So anyway, he's not dead, so I won't say long live Mickey Ward. He's still around.
Punch him again. He ain't dead yet.
Oh, Sean O'Grady. That was another Irish fighter I like. Anyway,
John L. Sullivan.
There's true.
Just throwing it out there.
Braddock's Irish.
Braddock.
Also. Anyway, he had a movie too. See, those Irish boxers, they get movies.
To Irish boxers. Throw it up.
Yeah.
The pugilists.
Well, I'm gonna go. Kind of flowing off of my Irish storytellers, Irish actors and actresses, because you're telling your stories. You are telling your character in a story, and whether it's Colm Meaney or Maureen O'Hara, Brenda Fricker, Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell. I mean, so many. Peter O'Toole.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I'm saving him for last. Richard Harris.
Damn it, Jim.
Richard Harris, who was on. I'm not sure if I brought this up on the Harrison Ford show or not, but Richard Harris was on the receiving end of one of my favorite Harrison Ford. The Harrison Ford finger in Patriot games, and Daniel Day-Lewis, going to what Marty said earlier on bringing up Shane McGowan, an Englishman technically, but always relates well as the Irish. Daniel Day-Lewis, technically a Londoner, but can you give me any actor or non-Irish actor who portrays an Irishman better than Daniel Day-Lewis? No, you're wrong. Don't try.
Okay, I'm gonna because I mentioned a Londoner as an Irishman. I'm gonna redeem myself and say, of course, I'm blanking on his name right now, but
work through it.
Shakespeare.
Pretend you're me. Work through it. Who?
Shakespeare. The guy who does all the Shakespeare movies.
Oh, dead again. Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh, yeah, Irishman, works in England. A lot of people consider him English,
right.
but he's Irish. He's born and raised in Belfast.
Okay, but there you go.
Got to add him to the list.
Flip the script on it. An Irishman playing playing the dreaded Englishman. Those fucking bastards.
And by the way, Shane McGowan was not English. He was just happened to be born there.
Right, but again, technically speaking, but yeah. And I'm telling you, just
no birthright. Wait.
But again, with storytelling, the Irish, and tapping into emotion, and all the actors, and Sarah Bolger, one of the younger actresses coming on the scene currently. I love watching the Irish on screen, and Brendan Gleeson's one that I'm glad that our guest Matt Pekovich brought up, that Calvary movie.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that one on his recommendation. Brendan Gleeson, tour de force, playing an Irish priest. Oh my God, just great movie. And Irish actors and actresses. I know, it's not with me, the theater guy, but I can't get enough of Irish.
When I think of Brendan Gleeson, I got to mention Colin Farrell, because the two of them together in
those two together, magic.
Man, absolutely.
So, well, Jim, bring us on home with your final call and any brief honorable mentions.
My final call. So, to the shock of no one, I'm going to do movies. I gotta go with Irish movies, and I won't give you like the whole list of all the Irish movies I love, because I'd be here all day. But I'll pick a few quintessentials that always kind of come up this time of year, and just I consider them kind of quintessential Irish movies. So honorable mentions: Quiet Man.
Yes.
The Duke in Ireland. Man, you can't beat that. Such a fun movie. And one of those that I never get tired of. I rewatch it all the time, and it's fantastic. Yeah. Him and Marina Hara, the chemistry there. Oh, wow. Fantastic. Boondock Saints. Technically, I mean, it's about Irish immigrants. It's set in the Irish colony of Boston. So, I think we can call it an Irish movie. But and just ridiculously fun movie as well. So, and the sequel was pretty good too.
I was going to say, did we mention the sequel or not? But there you go. You took care of it. Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Dug the sequel. It was a fun movie. Supposedly that number 3 is on its way, but they've been saying that for a long time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, great movie. This is a more recent one. It's called 71. It's got Jack O'Connell, who was just recently played the Irish vampire in Sinners. He's really good in it. He plays a British soldier who ends up stuck in 1971, stuck in Belfast behind enemy lines while the troubles are going on, and having to make his way through this war-torn city and get back to his unit. And it's really, really good movie. It's I'm not a huge fan of the movies about the troubles, generally speaking. They're kind of downers, and they always tend to kind of take a side. Rather than tell a story, this one does a really good job of telling a story and not taking sides. And it's just a really, really well done thriller. So it didn't get a lot of attention when it came out, but it's really good. So, but anyway, for my number one, couldn't be anything else. Love this movie. I try to watch it every St. Paddy's Day. It's Waking Ned Devine.
Thank God. I thought you were going to step on my number one. You did not. Waking Ned Devine, though. Great movie. Absolutely. Yes.
Love Waking Ned Devine. Yeah, it gets better every time I see it. I love that movie. It's so good. One of the all-time on-screen friendships, honestly, between the two old guys, Michael and Ned. So not Ned. Can't remember the main character's name, but anyway, the two old guys. And,
Jim is experiencing tonight, folks, Eric-itis. It's on the tip of his tongue, not quite there.
Not quite there.
Marty wants to laugh more than he's letting on, but yes.
Yeah, but yeah, fantastic movie, really funny. It just really captures kind of that idealized life in small town Ireland. Going to the pub, knowing everybody in your community, having those kind of bonds and family and friendship, and it has two really great sequences that are really well, more than two, but the two most memorable ones. One involves a motorcycle ride, which I won't give away what happens. Another involves a phone booth. Again, won't give away what happens, but both hugely funny, and just one of the most beautiful and touching endings in movie history. I love it. And yeah, it's just a great movie. So can't beat it.
And thank you for not accidentally stepping on mine. And I just want to throw out there, no, I'm not going to say for mine, but a great, fairly modern, within the last 10 years, Sing Street. Great,
Yep.
great movie.
I did not think of that, but good choice.
And I will tie that into my number one later, because right now, Marty, we're going to go to you for your honorable mentions or into your number one.
There's a movie that no one mentioned. It hurts me to my heart.
Patriot Games?
It's also from Dublin West, Boston. The Departed.
The Departed.
What you got your period?
What you got your period?
That's the quote you decide to go with.
That's pretty good.
Because Marty uses that one all the time. Know your audience. I know my friend. That was for you, Marty.
It was a great line. One of my favorites in the movie. I just love it because it's just an ultimate insult, and it's so clever, you know.
Jack is just so evil, but so freaking funny in that, dude.
Yeah, and you know, it's one amazing actor after another in that movie, and they all really had their moments to shine. They all, it's hard. I mean, well, you know, it's hard to do. You got to be a great director. They should have got a great director for that.
Yeah.
But I know, a fucking rat. You ruin you sum up a whole movie by one little.
I wasn't going to say anything. We've talked about it on the show before. I was going to let it go, but okay.
Well, no, it's 5 seconds to the end of a 2.5-hour movie, dude. Just let it go.
I know.
I said great director.
Marty nailed it. You both. There are so many great actors and so many great lines, and just it's not the tour de force that Goodfellas was, but it's still a tour de force.
I would say I don't disagree. That's mostly right, but it's very close to me. For me, that is Goodfellas is above it, but not much for me. Really love it. I mean, all those guys were just fantastic. I mean, Martin Sheen. I mean, it was just good, so good.
Sheen, Baldwin, Wahlberg, yeah, everybody.
Yes,
yep.
It was
everybody.
It was. I watch it once a month. The whole thing. I mean, I just love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie. Anyway.
Hold on a second, Marty. We forgot to throw one back to Jim's movies.
Oh, yeah.
And Marty's movies, and yours.
And now Marty's movie.
And Bob's movies and Fred's TV shows.
All
right.
Find a Fred and Bob.
Good Lord.
Of course, I'm starting to run a little low. I got to pace myself now at this stage.
Okay, well, you've thrown to me, and I'm going to say
you're number one.
My number one favorite Irish thing. Eric touched on it a couple of times. Irish whiskey.
Yes.
It's my favorite Irish thing is Irish whiskey, to the surprise of no one at all.
Wait, look over his right shoulder, folks. Big shock.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let's see.
Well, we don't want dead air, because dead air is, for those who are listening on the audio platforms, we do not want to have dead air. Marty, what you got in your hand there? Help us out.
This is Black Bush. This is Bush. This is Bushmills 1990. Yeah. Oh, thank you. 1990 special old. It's, I don't know, a couple $100 a bottle. It's fantastic. And now I'm about to partake in some because.
Fine, I'll throw another one back. All right, it's not Bushmills.
All right,
why not?
here we go.
Because apparently my mother-in-law loves me, and she bought this really expensive bottle.
She loves you. She really loves you.
Yes.
And thank you for giving me something besides Chappelle for Black Bush.
Yeah. It's a
Cradle of civilization.
It's a couple $100 a bottle, I think. Anyway, before I get to this, it's making my mouth water. Speaking of that, Irish whiskey. Whiskey is an Irish word. It was a phrase, water of life. Water of life. That's where they came up with whiskey. I can't pronounce the actual word, so I won't try.
Folks, try as we might, we do not speak Gaelic on this show.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not going to try.
I definitely don't. I'm only 5%, so I can't. Anyway, there's malt, pot still, there's grain, and what's the last one? Blended. I don't know what's going on. Blended. Anyway, Irish whiskey, fucking fantastic. I've been on a bourbon kick recently, but I love some Irish whiskey. So this is going to take at least 20 seconds. So talk amongst yourselves. This is going to be
Well, during that time, I will send a shout out to. Hopefully, we're going to get them on the show. I'm not sure if I mentioned them on a previous episode or not, but Thomas McCarthy and his wife Cludda, they are the latest Irish discovery, or latest Irish spotlight opening for Jeff Tate. Last time I saw him last month down in Tucson, and Thomas McCarthy. He did a solo set to start the night, and his wife Cludda played saxophone and did backing vocals, and then she also sings with Jeff Tate in his Operation Mindcrime stage show, and just amazing people, and we're looking forward to having them on the show at some point this year. Just as Mark Daly and the Ravens were a discovery, thanks to Jeff Tate. Thank you, Jeff Tate, for plucking from the Emerald Isle as much as you do. Good, great man, great discoveries, and hopefully we'll get Tomas and Cludda on the show. Marty's back to you.
Well, that was a whiskey-gasm. I'm feeling good, and
How many figures am I holding up?
all of them, I think.
All right, Marty, you are running through half a forest.
I feel that was outstanding whiskey. Outstanding. So,
Right on.
Black Bush. No pun
Nice,
intended.
very good. All right.
So, yes, thank you to the Irish for pretty much inventing whiskey. It was
And loving to get pissed.
yes. It's the best part of being Irish, maybe.
I'm telling, and you know, to steal a sentiment from one Homer J. Simpson. Irish whiskey, the greatest solution to or solver of all of life's problems.
Okay,
Fair enough.
take another sip.
Wait, solution to or solver of, that's the same thing, Eric. And that is too much whiskey. Jim, can you help me out on the actual quote from that one or sentiment?
I believe it's the cause of and solution to all of life.
There you go. Thank you. And that is Jim with a save. And now I think we have the opening to the show.
Indeed.
Well,
And of course, that goes hand in hand with the famous statement that the reason God invented whiskey was so that Irishmen couldn't rule the world.
fuck it. Don't want to rule the world. Just sit back at the pub and whatever. So
Exactly.
yes. Well, but I do want to. I want to go back to another of Jim's earlier picks and Irish cuisine, Irish drink, food, all that stuff. I unfortunately did not enjoy corned beef and cabbage till the late 90s at Ireland's 32. I finally sucked it up, and I'm like, because my great aunt, she's gone. I'll mention her name. Great Aunt Ann, God rest her soul, but Slovak Czech woman that she was. She wrecked cabbage for me for years because we would go to visit the family farm outside Pittsburgh, and that house just stunk of cabbage. The pigs in the blanket thing, and I could not stand. I had an aversion to cabbage forever. I finally, at one of Ireland's 32, their St. Patrick's Day, corned beef and cabbage and fish and chips. It's like I finally sucked it up and tried again, and now I am in love with corned beef and cabbage every St. Patrick's Day. So at some point today, folks, I either have had some corned beef and cabbage or I will later tonight, one or the other. So, sorry, great Aunt Ann, you wrecked it for me, but Ireland's 32, you brought it back. But to my number one, again, there are so many things. As I'm, again, to the top of the show, I love my Irish portion of my heritage. And there's so many directions I get. music. I know Marty's not a U2 fan. I am for the most part. Thin Lizzy. There's so much great music. And again, it's storytellers, but set to a tune, and just so much great music coming out of Ireland. And at some point in my life, this is a dream, and I will make it happen. At some point, I want to rent and stay in an Irish cottage for a week overlooking the ocean.
Oh.
And just go to just branch out and just take a tour of Ireland. But my base will be that castle, Irish castle, and that's it will happen. But it's, again, all the stories I've heard throughout my life, and just that makes the most sense to me, to be in a castle.
You need to romance Enya. That needs to be your life goal.
Yeah, why not? And you know what? Fuck it. We're going to get Kathy on board with this, and both of you are coming. We're going to do an all over the place. We're going to time it up with fucking Daly, Mark Daly, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it all over the place from an Irish castle.
All right.
I'm on board.
We have a goal. My 60th birthday will be in 4 years. At some point between now and then, we're doing it all over the place from an Irish castle.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm in.
I love to travel, and that sounds like a bunch of fun.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, so there it is. So, and I to Mark Daly very quickly again, I cannot be thankful enough that this guy, Jeff Tate, thank you again. But Mark read a story that a friend had a letter from her grandmother. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a letter talking about what was going on in Ireland. They were writing to their relatives here in the States, and it was they were telling what was going on. Hey, just so here's what's going on. Your cousin so and so, he married a British police officer. God help him. And it's a great 2-page letter, front and back. That's 1 page, front and back. And Mark read this, and I will actually share this at some point, and maybe I'll tie it in with this week if I have the wherewithal. But Mark read this story, and it's so cool to hear in that Irish brogue. And it's just, I can't even get into it. It's an amazing story. And Mark read it, so thank you again, Mark Daly. And
Mark Daly. But
since we're in a music kick, my number one. Okay, there's so many directions I could go with my love of Ireland. I'm going to go with The Commitments, both as a film and a soundtrack. The music in that movie, they're all cover songs, but it's just rock and roll. That soul, rock and soul, and the movie, it's about underdogs and doing their best to make it in the world of rock and roll, and B Rabbit doing his best to get a band together, and Colm Meaney. I think that may have been my introduction to Colm Meaney as an actor. So good as B Rabbit's father, and just 1,000,001 kids coming in and out of the household, and just as a good Irish family will be. And I love The Commitment. And Marty every year watches The Departed, and Jim, you watch Quiet Man. I watch The Commitments, and I may watch it even 1 or 2 more times during the year. Love The Commitments. Ireland through and through. Underdogs. Great covers. And, the Jay Giles Band has my favorite version of Land of a Thousand Dances. Number 2 is on the Commitment soundtrack. Because you got to know how to pony like Moni Maroney. And with that, I finished my drink. Did we time that up or what?
We did.
Worked out.
Irish stew, folks. Irish stew threefer. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all you folks out there. Oh, and I got to give up some love to a multiple guest here on the show, a dear friend for years and years, AJ Laird. Happy St. Patrick's Day, you bastard, you fuck. And Jim Kiley, who I met through AJ, and who one day will be a guest on the show. And Jim keeps teasing that he's going to provide us some new music for the show. I don't know if we need new music, but Jim, you're a great musician. I Bring it on, my friend. All my Irish friends out there, all my Irish American friends, happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, let's go get pissed.
Get pissed. To the Shamrock Shake. Why not?
Oh.
All over the place, where the fun sanity never ends.